Ugh. Jesus. Everything's a mess. Everything is a mess. Alright. Get my life together. That's no good. Definitely not gonna use that for anything. Okay, just making sure that it's actually working. So there's a reason why I am here. I can get out of the thing because I'm not going to watch myself. That's ridiculous. But the reason why I'm here is because I decided, fuck it, dude. Why not? Why not? What would it hurt? Right? Because I pulled up, I know a while ago, I came on here, I probably scrapped it, but I was talking about this dude got Mark Norman on his podcast. I was like, holy shit, that's fucking crazy. How did he do that? And I was just thinking to myself, like, dude, why don't you see if it's possible you can get him on? Maybe you'll kick him some views, some subscribers, whatever. Hopefully that will work. I mean, right now he's sitting at 143, which is still really good. I mean, I don't know how long this channel has been around for, but I mean, shit. We already know how long it took me to get to where I am. Finally, there's the fucking notification that I was kind of stalling for, waiting to see. So let me start again, just in case. And I want StreamYards needs to know that right now, last night rather, there was a few people in here, and it still showed that my view count was 0. Like right now, I'm sure that it is because it just sent a notification out to everybody that this shit is live. But it's no good if I think I'm in here talking to myself. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter. They're not gonna fix it. Anyway, I decided what the fuck, why not, right? Because it's about to message that media manager and be like, hey, what's the plan, dude? Do you want to do it still? Do you not want to do it? Like, what your schedule will look like? And then I decided, yeah, no, let me not yet. Not yet. Because let me take a look and see when I talk to him. It doesn't give me a. Alright, somewhere over the rainbow, November 21st, I think I spoke with him. So, what I think I'm going to do is I'm probably going to maybe let a little more time pass. I mean, especially because I got BCHQ coming on the podcast on Wednesday, right? And I gotta edit that and do all that shit. But then I also, if this dude comes through. And I'm not saying that he's going to, so don't get excited. I mean, as of right now, I just asked him if he would come on. Basically, the sales pitch was, look, bro. I mean, I caught your podcast. I see what you're doing. If you want to come on and plug your shit on my show, I'd be happy to have you. I think that we should all stick together. Like, that's important. And I mean that. I'm not talking shit when I say that. I mean it. I stand behind what I say. I want to help people that I can help, even though I'm not huge or anything like that. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And besides, you know what? You never know. You don't know what's going to work and what's not going to work. So I just do it because it's the right thing to fucking do. I don't see what the problem is with that, and why am I defending it? Right? Like, that's stupid of me to do that. There's no real reason to. It's a normal thing of what I'm doing. I think a normal type thing. Which I gotta stop this though. I don't. It's so hard because I don't like to. I don't like to reach out to strangers. I really don't. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't like throwing myself out there like that. And I thought maybe I should wait until, if this thing gets bigger, then it would be easier. Maybe people will come to me. At the same time, it might not. It might not get bigger. And you got to take your shots where you can fucking take them. So at least I'll have a few guest episodes under my belt. Because the other thing is, too, I keep thinking back to traveling cannabis and the out the gate motherfuckers and how brutal the out the gate podcast was. God damn, that shit still gives me night sweats, bro. I can't can't do it. So I feel like I need to work on this a little bit. I need to sharpen my skill set. I gotta be ready. You never know. For all I know, an opportunity could present itself, and I don't want to not be prepared. Now, obviously, you can't prep for everything. There could be some shit that happens in the future that we don't know about, but it might turn out to be a good thing, might turn out to be a horrible thing. But at least if I can get more comfortable in the venue of, talking to strangers a little bit, normal thing to argue with yourself. You gotta learn to get a high from throwing yourself in awkward positions. Yeah, I mean, that's what it. But I mean, the good thing is, I feel like I thought about it for all like 2 seconds. And I was like, you know what? Let's just fucking do it. The worst thing that's going to happen is you're not going to get a response. The person's going to say no. Or my personal favorite, which is the worst thing that you could say to anybody, which is, oh yeah, sounds good. I'll let you know when I'm free in the future, and then they never get back to you. Instead of just saying that you're not interested, which would not be a terrible thing to do, would be much easier. But whatever. People are going being some people don't I guess they feel like they don't want to hurt your feelings or they don't want to come off like a douchebag. So I understand that, but at the same time, if I'm taking the time to reach out to you, the least you could do is be honest, right? So anyway, I reached out to this dude from Where's This Going podcast. And I was like, I said to the dude, basically, come on, plug your shit, all that nonsense. And he was like, okay, cool. Where are you based out of? I was like, I'm in Jersey. I don't know where he is. I didn't ask him, but I put any idea of travel, I just stabbed it and killed it very quickly because that's not, it's one, I'm not in a position financially to do. Two, it's hard enough to talk to a stranger. Never mind go to someplace I've never been before and sit down with a stranger. I don't know if I could do that. Like especially not like it'd be different when you go into, and I know a podcast could be considered like a radio station, but it's different when it's all a setup. If you're going into somebody's house that you don't know, that's creepy. That's creepy shit. So I was like, dude, we could do it. When he answered me back, it was like, bro, I would like to. Hold on, let me pull it up because I don't want to. I don't want to misquote this guy. And granted, I'm not going to sit here and read the entire conversation because it's not much to read. But this is what I said exactly. I saw your podcast with Mark Norman. Really well done. Wanted to reach out and invite you to come on my show to plug yours if you're interested. We'll set up a day, figure out how to do it. Everything is pre-recorded. I'll send you a file if you want to review it before I put it out. Also, if you'd like, you could post it on your platform. I think it's important for creators to support each other. In hindsight, probably not the greatest transition from that to the end, but it's a work in progress. I think that's a big improvement from the last few messages that I've sent out to people, right? It's straight, it's to the point. This is what it is, this is what we're doing. You're in or you're not in. And he's like, hey man, thank you so much. Of course, let's do it. Where are you based out of? I was not expecting that response. I was expecting, like, I appreciate that, but not really sure, you know? Or what are the new common question is, well, what is your shit about? He don't do any of that. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever. So maybe he's like me in a sense that, like, oh, somebody's being cool, dude. You know, it would be that would be a good idea, and it gives me some exposure, no matter how little it is, right? I would imagine if I was him, that's what I would think. So I tell him I'm out here in Jersey, but we could do Skype or StreamYard, whatever he prefers. And he asks how long the episodes are usually. So I told him anywhere from, like, I normally do. Oh, did I fuck that up? Okay, no, I didn't. I normally do an hour, but anything from 30 minutes or more is okay. I just want to let him know, like, I can turn it into a mini podcast. We can stretch it. If it goes over an hour, I'm fine with that too. I don't care. But honestly, it depends on what the back and forth is going to be like in the moment. Some people, once they hit the 45-minute mark, they're, if they even make it that far, you could tell around like a half an hour. There's three stages. There's three stages to where the podcast is going to end when it comes to having a guest on. It's usually around the 15 to 20-minute mark. There's a lot more pausing involved, right? The questions with that response, it sounds like it would be well balanced. I hope so. You know, pause in a little bit. Then you can kind of they're not being nasty, but you can hear in their voice they're like, all right, how many more fucking questions do I have to get through? Right? And then there's the biggest problem of all is the time imbalance, which is I say some shit, I ask you a question, you go to give me an answer, and then because we're slightly delayed, when you're only taking a pause in what you're saying, and I think that you're done, and then we start talking at the same time, and I step on you a little bit, that probably makes you think like, oh, this dude is not interested in what I have to say, but hopefully they understand that that shit's gonna happen from time to time, right? So it's after that, then usually, you can hear like the answers start getting shorter around a half an hour. And then once I start picking up on these warning signs, I usually throw one more question out there and say some shit like, if you were looking to wrap this up soon, let me know and we can do that. So, I let them know that I'm hip to what's going on and I'm not mad about it at all. So, most people will take that time to be like, all right, yeah, I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I told him, or he asked me rather, is there a particular theme or is it just an interview? And I was like, that's a good question, but I don't know what that means. So I just said, good question. I mean, podcasting in general. I want the people who listen to get an idea of who you are, how your choices for content are made, things like that. Can send over questions if you want. And then he goes, sounds great. Sounds great. No need. Keep the element of surprise in there. I was like, oh, this is fucking beautiful. This is fucking beautiful. I really like where this is going. Hold on. I hate this space. Now I gotta give him a window. See, now this is where it gets a little murky. Because he just said, I got the day. Do you want to shoot for around this time? Yeah, sounds good to me. You want to send a message over when you're ready? We'll do a test, make sure everything is working, all right? And we'll go from there. And if for any reason, if you want to push it back, just let me know. Because I was going to say, I'll just say that because I was going to say, for any reason you not want, any reason you need. Oh, dude, I am too. I'm naturally suspicious of people in general, never mind when they're friendly. Honestly, because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to people being nice. Usually when somebody's being nice to me, they're trying to get something from me. That's normally the way that it goes. But, you know, it's just the way it sucks that we have to think like that now because this place is not a great place to be. Right? Like when somebody's being nice to you, your immediate response shouldn't be, "What's going on here? Why is this person being cool? What's happening? What do they want? What are they trying to do? Are they going to kill me? Is that what this is about? Am I going to be their first kill? Am I going to end up in a trunk someplace? Or in a barrel of fucking acid? What the fuck?" So I just said that you need to push it back. We can plan it out. The reason why I said, because I was gonna say, if for any reason you need to cancel or push it back, no big deal. Let me know. But I'm thinking, because I gotta start using my head here, I don't want to use words like that because then that puts the idea of canceling into their mind, right? And we don't want that to happen. We want everything to go smoothly, but the reality is that sometimes shit happens and things are not going to go according to plan. This dude might have to be somewhere or look to be coming back from someplace. Maybe a flight gets delayed or his cab don't show up on time, whatever the situation is, and he's got to push. Want him to know it's not a big deal. We can do that. But I also, I don't want to undervalue my time or their time, but at the same time I need to make it so it's environmentally friendly enough for them to understand that if some shit happens, they don't need to be like, "Oh, now I'm gonna have to deal with this fucking guy now." That's not what it is at all. This is all part of the learning process. Trap them into a commitment. Exactly. So I started writing down questions, which at the rate that we're going, we might fuck around and get into, February soon. Oh, fuck, I forgot. February is such a short month. But that might actually work in my favor. I don't know. Probably not. Let's take a look at the calendar quickly. Isn't it crazy? We're in December and I'm already thinking about February. Oh shit, there's an extra day in February this year. There's 29 days. How you like that? Who would have fucking thought? Oh god, I forgot. Oh, this is gonna be fucking rough, dude. There's 31 days in December and 31 days in January. Brutal. That's bad news. December is going to be. I mean, the beginning of January is going to suck because the start of the month is in the middle of the week, which means that everything has to stretch. That's going to be tough. It's going to be real tough. It's always bad. And then, all right, good. So the first is a Saturday for February. And then we end on a Saturday. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so 5 podcasts in February. That means I gotta put out an extra one. So it doesn't work in my favor, but that's all right. No big deal. At the rate that we're going now, we should be fine. Because I have the 4th taken care of, I have the 11th taken care of. So I only need the 25th, the 18th, the 25th, and then the 1st, 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th. So we got a little while to go. I mean, I already have let's take a look in the vault here. I'm probably gonna scrap that because I recorded some shit off of my phone a few months ago, but it sounds like shit. So I'm probably gonna cut that out completely and just not use it. We'll have to save that idea for a later date. And then I have this 49 minutes. I could stretch that into a podcast, a full episode, because I'm sure there's probably going to be some stuff that I want to add into that, because all I have written down is use this after memory trace, which will be, let's pull up the anchor. Oh, next week. This week. The 7th. The 7th will be the memory trace one. So after that one airs, then I can. So the next edit thing that I'm going to be working on is that, whatever that is, the use after memory trace one. I have to edit it. I have to put drops into it. I have to figure out what the fuck it is that I was talking about. And throw that shit together. So I have that one. BCHQ is coming on Wednesday. There's that one. And then this dude, if that works out, there's that one as well. Which, I mean, I know I definitely need to rewatch The Irishman again. And I can probably make that into a podcast by itself, but I really don't want to do a fucking. I'm definitely not doing a 3.5 hour movie review. That's insane. I can't even keep details together for an hour and a half. I'm gonna do 3.5 hours, but I think it would be an interesting journey to go and find, because I see videos every day. There's new videos for The Irishman, which are this is what Jimmy Hoffa really was like, or this is the real Irishman guy, or these are the facts that the movie got right and got wrong. I haven't watched any of that. I did, however, watch a video on Joe Pesci that apparently he wanted to be a singer. Somebody mentioned that. I remember. And about how, he didn't want to do The Irishman originally and shit like that. But it'd be interesting to take a look at those coming fresh off of the movie, finding those videos and doing comparisons between the characters and the actual people. And plus, everybody's talking about how this age regression shit, there was stuff that didn't look good. De Niro, you could tell, he was an old man beating somebody up in the film. Like, bro, leave it the fuck alone. Leave it alone. Can you just not be happy that the guy is in a fucking movie? Why do you have to pull it apart? They did the best that they could do. They did the best that they could do. He's not young anymore. It's gonna happen. It's not Casino. It's not Goodfellas. It's not a Bronx Tale. We're way past that. But anyway. Oh, and I have some other shit. Fuck, I still got. So hold on. Alright, we got the 4th and we got the 11th down. So if I edit right, I could do BCHQ in the 18th. And then I could do the other one I was talking about in the 25th. And then if this dude shows up, that could be on the 1st of February, which would be good. But we're not gonna, as of right now, we're not counting it because it didn't happen yet. Everything is written in pencil at this point. Just until we know for sure it's going to happen, and just to pray to the podcast gods that I'm not gonna bomb, dude. But I'm writing down some questions. which is, when did you decide to start podcasting? And a couple of these are going to be generic questions, but I feel like they could open the door to more interesting conversation. What did you do before, meaning before you started the podcast? What were you doing? If he's still doing it now, maybe he's got a day job. Who knows what the fuck does he do? That opens the doorway for a whole separate conversation. Like, hopefully, we will only have to go to the questions for certain shit. Like, example, sponsorships, content control, censoring. Has there been any of that? Now, I'm sure for his own interest, he probably won't say if there has been, but I'm curious to see. And not even like, it's not like he's me where he's saying anything that's outrageous. I, on the other hand, would probably run into this problem a lot, or a lot of people just would choose not to fuck with me, which is fine. I don't care. But that's a curious question. Obviously, the question I would ask anybody that has a show in any venue: do you have a dream guest list of people that you want to get on? So in case I asked that, I had to kind of write down a couple of names so that we could have a back and forth. Maybe, hopefully, if everything goes according to the plan. And in this one, this is a question that I really want to. This is a question I really want to ask this dude. Have you ever had an uncomfortable moment with a guest, and how do you hold on. And how do you recover? Because for anybody that has not watched Where's This Going, he has a video component to his podcast, and the last couple I've seen, like, he has Norman, and then he has this Zuby guy who I know I've seen on Rogan before, but these are people that have come in the studio, and now he's sitting there with complete strangers. He doesn't know these people, so automatically I'm thinking, is there anything that he said he can talk about all the guests that has rejected his invites? It's a good call. Now maybe he will, maybe he won't, because I'm sure there's probably a part in his brain that's like, I don't want to burn this bridge just in case. But we're not asking you to trash anybody. We just want to see who you reached out to. It's like, fuck you, bro. Come back to me when you got a few million and we'll talk. And this sounds like I'm fucking trying to get into, like, he's into some 50 Shades of Grey type shit. This does. Do your family, do your friends and family know what you're doing, or do you not talk about it? The reason why I ask that is because I'm sure I'm going to come off like a fucking weirdo when I ask that question, but I don't like to advertise the fact that I do this. I do what I do and I leave it alone. If they find it, good for them. But I'm not going to tell them about it. If you're interested enough in what I have going on in my own life, you can figure it out. It's been posted places. It's not a secret what I'm doing. I rarely do I fucking go on Facebook and talk about doing this podcast. Although I did put a post out when I had BCHQ on the podcast because I was excited that my first my first overseas guest was coming on the fucking show. You know, that's exciting. It doesn't matter how many people there are, dude. Like, it's a fucking person from the other side of the fucking world. If you don't think that's interest, then what are we even friends for? You know? I don't know what you have going on in your life that you would you would find the idea of talking to a content creator, a fellow content creator from the other side of the fucking world. You get to learn about shit that you would not otherwise know. Maybe people are just wrapped up in their own lives. Maybe that's possible. You know, but do you talk about it with your family and friends, or do they not know basically what you're doing? Because I don't tell anybody. You know, what is the? This is an interesting question as well because I feel like this will tell us all that we need to know. What's your editing process? How many people does it take to make the podcast happen? And then of course we have rejected invites I just threw on here. So I bring that up because one, it will tell us, do you edit your own podcast or have you hired somebody else to do it? Because I've heard of even people that run small podcasts have hired other people to do the editing for them because they hate it so much they would rather pay somebody else to do it than to do it themselves. However, I mean, don't get me wrong, there have been days where I'm sitting in here and it's been fucking 7 hours that I'm cutting a goddamn podcast up, trying to make it sound good, and I'm ready to shoot myself, and I'm like, why don't I pay somebody to just do this? One, because you don't have the money, and two, when you pay somebody though, you do give up a part of the creative control. Like if you decide in the last second, like, oh, I said some shit, I want to take that out because I can use that for something later on, and maybe I make an episode about that. Too late, it's already out there. That person might have already uploaded it and it's already in the universe. You can't just take it away now. So, there's that. And then how much work went into your studio? I know that probably sounds like a loaded question, but take a look at this. Damn, I had to pee at the worst times, dude. Matter of fact, I will use this to my advantage, and I'll let this play for a moment while I go run to the bathroom real quick. So just so you can see what all is going on here. Are my headphones broken? Oh no.
And we're live.
Oh,
Zuby,
okay.
thank you.
I guess for some reason they mono the music, which I had to. Let me write that down real quick. Why? Why one-sided sound for music? Maybe that was a mistake. We'll have to go into the episodes and see if that has happened with any other one. Oh yeah, and I forgot about that. That's another silly question too, but that one will show that I'm doing my fucking research right there. Oh no, did I not press play? What an asshole! What an asshole I am!
Sir, for being in the studio today.
Happy to be here, man. How are you?
I'm very well. You're my
Fail! What a fucking fail! And I'm in there taking a piss like, oh, you know, it'd be funny to do if I was like, so what, you know, ask them the silly questions that I've been asking people since I fucking was on Instant Messenger. The big one to get to know somebody is what kind of music do you listen to and what kind of movies do you like? Because I think that tells you a lot about who a person is, about what they like. And I thought, you know, it'd be kind of funny to do that because then I can use a drop from the Scream movie where that dude could be like, "What's your favorite scary movie?" You're stupid.
first guest that I think I mentioned this to you, but I flew in from Boston this morning
Okay.
to see you right now, and I'm flying back out to Boston tonight. So I'm very, very happy to have you on.
That's all good, man. Well, I've just come in from Washington, D.C. via 10 other cities and via the UK. So happy to be here.
So you talked to me a little bit about that trip. Actually, I'm pretty curious of all the. You said you haven't been home since September. So where have you
Nah.
been?
So I've been to Los Angeles for 2 weeks, San Francisco for 1. I'm just going to do the main cities, not the smaller ones. Then I headed out to Austin, Texas, spent a week in Austin, then did 5 days in Dallas and 2 days in Fort Worth.
Damn.
After that, I flew to Atlanta, spent 2 weeks in Atlanta, then went to Nashville and spent a week in Nashville, then a week in
Damn.
DC, and
Hustler.
now I've got 4 days here in New York City. And then after
See, I don't know if you caught that. But right there. I actually wrote this down as a legit question. What's in the cup? I gotta know. What's in the cup? What are you drinking? Probably water. But I'm curious. Like, this dude is smart enough to use a cup and not advertise. Right? But don't you wonder that? Like, oh, I wonder what they're drinking right now. Just, I guess it's because you don't know. So what was your first gay experience? For real, I know I come off like a fucking, like, hey man, you know, ugh, stupid. But I feel like, you know what though, dude? I feel like if you can, as dumb as it is, and maybe this is why people don't like to do guest spots on podcasts, but I feel like if you have somebody on, it's kind of your job to. I want people to know the type of person that they're gonna be fucking with, you know. Like if I had a rapper on or some shit, like sure we could talk for days about your music, dude, but let's get to who you are as a fucking human being because everybody looks at you and they see a rapper. What about the person? Nobody talks about the person or cares for the person very much. And I know there's a bit of a lopsided thing with that. Like Hobson, for example, in I think Tears to Snow, he said, you know, no one pays any mind to Marcus. They treat me like I'm retarded and just want me to slave away as an artist. But at the same time, there are other dudes that are probably like, dude, fuck. My personal shit is personal, bitch. I make music, listen to the music, and fuck off and leave me alone. Paz is real heavy into that. Where that dude is not for social media at all. In general. I'm not even to say nothing bad about him, but that guy, like, he misses the days where, and because I'm a creep, I know this because I listened to a lot of the the podcast that he's done, but he put it out there, so I listened because I'm curious. I like the dude's music. I want to see what his thoughts are, you know? Try to figure out how the fuck does this dude throw some shit together. That's interesting to me. Try to figure out why or what makes this person tick. But he's like, dude, back in the day, and I'm heavily paraphrasing what he said, but it's something along the lines of, there never used to be a way for you to talk to an artist. You bought the album, and that's where it started and ended. There was no, now I have to go on social media and I have to deal with your stupid fucking questions, and you telling me, you're giving me ideas like, oh, it would be cool, Pez, if you worked with this artist. Like, dude, don't you think I've already thought about that? If you are telling me it's a good idea, there's a good chance that I've already fucking thought about it. And maybe I'm in the process of doing it and you just don't fucking know it yet. Because you'll know it when I want you to fucking know it. Like going off, dude. Going off. Broad Street Breakdown is the podcast. Unfortunately for me, and I already know they told me to go fuck myself. Well, not me specifically. Everybody that listens. They started doing this shit where they eat on the microphone in the middle of a goddamn conversation. I can't handle that. It drives me fucking crazy, dude. And talking with the mouth open and all that shit. I can't handle it. So I listen up until, like, this motherfucker's eating pretzels and cereal and Pop-Tarts and all kinds of shit. And he's like, bro, you know what? If you don't like the fact that I'm eating on mic right now, talk about OG Gavin. If you don't like the fact that I'm eating on mic right now, you don't have to listen to this fucking show, asshole. Go fucking listen to something else. I'm hungry. I'm going to fucking eat. I'm going to eat. I'm just not going to make myself a starter because I got to do a podcast for you right fucking now. Like, all right, man. First of all, let's dial it down just a couple of notches because I understand where you're coming from. In your mind, you're like, well, dude, I'm hungry. I'm sitting and I'm talking with my friends. If we were having a conversation, I would just go grab some food and I would casually eat while I'm talking to them. On the other end, though, like, dude, come on, man. It's really not that hard to just eat your fucking food and stay off the microphone until you're finished. Like, there's nothing that, even if you mumbled out the cure for cancer, there's no reason why you should do that with your fucking mouth full of food, dude. But I'm a sick individual. I recognize this. Some people don't care. Some people don't give a fuck. It doesn't bother them at all. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I can't do it. So I listen up to a certain point and then I tap out. And I'll try to, there have been times where I've tried to fast forward through it just to get over the worst of it. And it's a continued theme for the rest of the episode, so I don't even listen. They could be talking about anything. I have no idea. Having said that, though, there are some really good topics on that fucking podcast. And I would never, ever reach out to any of those dudes, no matter how big this gets. If I had 100 million people behind me, I would never reach out to them to do it because they don't want to be bothered. They've made that statement clear in many different scenarios. And don't get me, they're not assholes. I mean, well, back and forth a little bit. But I mean, they do a thing called the mailbag where they read people's questions and stuff, and they have no problem just lighting you on fire. If you say some dumb shit, they will shame you immediately, which I respect that. But at the same time, like, bro, some people, I get it. You need to let them know that they shouldn't be writing anybody Like, just be a listener and that's it, you know? But at the same time, you're like a fucking mythical creature to some of these people because you're a rapper or you're in a metal band or whatever it is that you're doing. People don't look at you like a regular person, but that's society's fault that we put these people on such a pedestal that we feel like they're different than us because they have a fucking talent, which is ridiculously stupid. I don't I don't get it. Why do we do that? Who decided that was the fucking rule? What asshole thought that was a good idea? What do I know? Right? I don't know nothing.
A week in DC, and now I've got 4 days here in New York City, and then after that, I can finally head home.
Wow. Is there a favorite city? Is there a favorite moment from your tour here?
Man, I've had a lot of favorite moments. Obviously, featured on some of the biggest podcasts in the world now, which is an honor. Joe Rogan, The Rubin Report, Adam Carolla Show, Ben
Damn.
Shapiro Show. Was on Tucker Carlson last week on
Jesus.
Fox News, which was pretty crazy.
Bro, those are
So
I don't listen to 90% of those people, but I have heard every name that he's just mentioned in passing through other people. I've heard of those people. Like Adam Carolla, him and Dr. Drew were big with the Loveline deal. And the Man Show was, I think, Kimmel and Carolla. Some people argue that Carolla is like the podcast king. Him and Mark Maron are like the two dudes when you talk about like who started podcasting. It's a toss up between those two dudes. A lot of people say that. And then Carlson, I've heard of him. I don't, whatever. I don't check in on Fox. I don't check in on CNN. It's biased, dude. I don't fuck with that. I will try to gather my news from my local news station and then leave it at that. I don't want the slant that goes along with it. They both make me fucking sick. Having said that though, that is really cool that they had this dude on.
Had so many opportunities. Last week, I was invited to visit the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. I was invited to the White House twice.
Damn.
It's been a pretty crazy trip, man. In the past 8 weeks, the amount of people.
I just thought of something hilarious. You know what's funny? Right now, this dude is sitting down and having a conversation with a guy who has been on the biggest podcast in the world, the largest show is on television, and has been invited to the White House, has been invited to the White House, and this dude is gonna go from that to talking to me. Yeah, it's crazy how I had to look up a clip of that dude.
Who I've met, things I've done, places I've been. It's been incredible, man. It's been eye opening. I've learned a lot. I've really felt the love and the support here in the U.S. I mean, it's crazy. My audience in the U.S. is now significantly larger than my audience in the U.K., which it's the first time in my career that's been the case, and it's my first time coming to the States in 10 years, and it's also my first time visiting every single one of these cities, with the exception of New York. This is out of this trip. New York City is the only city I've been to before, so I've learned a lot, and I'm just truly grateful and feel very blessed to have these opportunities and have the chance to get my message out there to more and more people who I think need to hear it and who have been starving for it.
What was the White House like?
Yeah, it was dope. It was kind of surreal, man.
So I'm not gonna pull up a clip of the Man Show on here because I just realized as I said that if I do that, they could pull it, because I'm not sure if you know this, but the stream that we did last night got internationally blocked because of that fucking dude with the glasses. You know, the one that was like, oh, I listened to this, that, and the other thing, and it made me do this thing and that thing. That motherfucker blocked it. I mean, I don't know if people are beating his fucking door down to get his hot take on what's going on in the fucking music industry, but apparently, you know, I guess he felt that a show with 9 views on it was something that he couldn't allow to happen. So we got, what is this? Oh, it's a whole show? I don't want the whole show. I guess it's nice to know that it's here. Oh my god, Joe Rogan with hair. Holy shit. Wow. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Here, hold on, I'll show you. I'll pull you into the studio. Look at that though, dude. Joe Rogan with hair, that's so crazy. I'm the entire time that I've seen him, he's always been bald. I forget sometimes that there was a point where he had hair on his head. It almost looks foreign to me, which is kind of strange, but you know, it's gonna happen. All right, let's get rid of this tab. And all right, that's not doing too bad. Check that out. Fucking yo, what's up, man? Guys, whoever. Real quick, let me go in here before I get sidetracked on this. God damn it, I hit the wrong fucking button. I forget, you have to go into your videos and then click over to your live streams. See, there it is. Blocked. Fucking stupid. Blocked, bro. Now I'm going to go in, view copyright details, because let's see. All right, so far, all they're doing is robbing money that I'm not going to make, which is fine. Okay, never mind. It was the wrong dude. Guns don't kill. Wait, that's the same guy, right? Yeah, that's the guy with the glasses. That fucking dickhead, he blocked it. What a fucking asshole. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Like, bro, you do realize I could just cut out all of this music, right? Which that does speak to how flawed YouTube is, though, where you do a fucking 4-hour video and you use not even a minute of a fucking music video or a song, and now your entire video has now been, one, your money is being taken if you make any, and two, your whole thing is completely useless now. Like, you haven't done, like, you put no effort into doing the rest of that video. These cunts can just come along and go, yeah, well, now it's ours. Fuck all the effort that you put into it. We're taking it now. Or we're taking it down because you chose to use 20 seconds of my stupid fucking song. Now we're going to delete your entire 4-hour video, which is insane to me. But that's another reason why, you know, I'm happy to get a reminder once in a while of why the fuck I got out of doing reactions, because Jesus Christ, that's annoying. As if I don't bring anything to the fucking table. Not for nothing, motherfuckers, but the few people that do show up didn't show up because they heard you were fucking coming. I made this shit happen, not you. when your fucking music video can figure out how to make an account on YouTube, hit the record button, and start to make content before and after your stupid fucking song is played for all of 20 fucking seconds. You let me know. You let me know. Fucking probably the only time you've been relevant in the last 20 fucking years is when I brought you up. That's not fair to a lot of people, especially that guy, right? I don't know nothing about that dude. Get him on the podcast, be like, bro, why you blocking my shit, dude? What the fuck is your problem? And you guys could have came in here if you wanted to. I know that these guys were the ones I was telling you all about that were getting their fucking tried to get their podcast together. That's gonna be a shit show though, I feel like, when that episode happens. But that's the fun part. Especially because they seem to be all over the place. So at least we got some questions. I do have to watch a few. I was about to start editing a podcast episode, and I was like, well, wait a minute. I should go back and I should watch this dude so I can see how does he do things. Because I don't want to go in there completely blind and not know what to do. Like, I want to be able to pick, and also a reason why you do that is so you could pick up on the changes. If you say some shit, you'd be able to figure it out where this person is at. So I definitely got to do that. But I mean, you see this studio. That's the whole point of why I shared it in the goddamn first place, and I didn't even talk about it. You see this studio. Now I don't know what is in here. I mean, obviously it's a table or a desk. He's got the 2 microphones set up. And that TV is anywhere from $160 to $2,000. Not sure. I'm assuming this shit back here is soundproofing for walls. But is this a basement? Is this a completely separate studio? What does it cost to throw something like that together? Because we're over here laughing at birds. We're extremely low budget. I got a laptop on a desk in a bedroom, and that's what it is. We're not fancy. We're cheap dates. We know where we are. We know what we're doing. It's not always the greatest sound quality in the world, but it's authentic and it's achievable. If anything, this podcast tells you, or this YouTube channel even, will tell you that, if you have the will and the foresight to be able to want to do something like this, that you too can do it, and probably better. Who knows? You never know. I mean, some people start up and fucking huge. They're huge. It's crazy. I don't know. And this dude seems like, he's selective with his questions. He thinks shit out. Seems very professional like. So I find it kind of strange that he only has but so many people. I mean, the Mark Norman episode got over 8,000 hits, which is great. So we got Norman's and somebody else. I don't know how. From 5 months ago, Eric and Yasmin Anders, that's got 200 on it, which is still is still good, but it looks like this channel was started out about 5 months ago. So, I mean, it's not bad for 5 months of work. It seems to be doing pretty well. I don't know, though, man. I guess we'll figure it out. Hopefully, we'll send some people over in his direction. But this whole thing seems to be a lot more professional than what the way that I do it. But you know, that's all right. The official podcast. I don't know what that's all about. Webcam is activated. It's got 176,000 views in 3 days. Holy shit. YouTube is just recommending me all kinds of crazy shit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just looking through my YouTube recommendations. I mean, I don't know why they changed it. It seemed to be better off before. Now they're just recommending me random shit that I have no interest in at all whatsoever. I mean, don't get me wrong, some of it's good. You know, like you got Irish. Oh, you know what? I kind of want to watch this. It's an Irishman movie review by some asshole who has a decent amount of views on it. So let's get this video blocked.
The Irishman was directed by Martin Scorsese and stars Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, Jesse Plemons, and Ray Romano, and is the story of a hitman for the mob who recalls his possible involvement with the murder of Jimmy Hoffa. I finally got a chance to see this movie. It's been in LA and New York theaters, I guess, since the 1st of November. It's going to be at Netflix pretty soon, but it finally came to Cleveland. I got to see it in an early showing. It's a Scorsese.
Oh shit, you went to the theater and watched that? Fuck that. I watched that shit on Netflix.
Scorsese film with De Niro, Pesci, and Pacino. It's mesmerizing.
Yeah.
It's 3.5 hours long, and that runtime is going to be discussed frequently because that's really fucking long. And
what the fuck? And what the fuck is your point? You know, Sam Roberts made a really good point, dude. Why is it that you can fucking binge watch 2 seasons of a fucking television show, but you have a problem and a beef with a 3.5 hour movie? Titanic was 2 VCR cassettes, bro. 2 of them. When you were done with the first part, you physically had to take the tape out and put the other one in to finish the film. Why do I know that? Because my grandmother was fucking obsessed with that horrible fucking film. Hate it. And every time I would trash it, she would tell me, you know, oh, well, fuck you. What do you know? You and your fucking stupid music that you think is cool. Well, your music fucking sucks. How about that? Fuck out of here. This movie is the shit. And I mean, I think that's kind of where I got my attitude from. She didn't fuck around, dude. You didn't talk shit about her Titanic movie, or you were going to have a problem. This is the same lady. There was a dude that was living next to us in an apartment complex that was fucking allegedly selling drugs. Maybe he was. But she wouldn't have fucking... She didn't make moves by mistake. You know? It's an old school Italian broad that would sweep the sidewalks outside of the apartment complex. This is the kind of motherfucker that we're dealing with. And she went and knocked over on his door. And this dude's fucking ripped, bro. Shredded. Like 6 foot at least. And she knocks on his door, this sort of 60-year-old fucking lady. She's like, whatever you do is your business, but I catch you fucking giving drugs to my grandson. Me and you are gonna have a fucking problem. You understand? And he was like, yeah, all right, whatever, old lady, and like, go fuck yourself. She was like, oh yeah, and fucking checked him up against the wall and was like, I don't care how fucking tough you think you are, I will whoop your fucking ass right here and now. Don't think because I'm some old lady you gonna fucking walk all over me. You gonna respect me, motherfucker. Damn, she's a gangster. She's a goddamn gangster.
Although there are some scenes that drag a little bit early on, I would say the movie felt more like it was 2 hours, 45 minutes, maybe. There's a good 45 minutes just lost in translation because the film is constantly riveting. Because of the talent on screen, because of the talent behind the camera, this movie moves way faster than any 3.5 hour movie with a lot of talking than I've ever seen. In fact,
that's fair. And also, I mean, I said it before, I say it again. If you can get through the first 20 minutes, the rest of it is good. I mean, I had to watch it over again to make sure that's an accurate statement. But I mean, I know that you're waiting for The Irishman is the Sunset Limited of gangster films. It's not going to give you everything that you want right away. It's going to make you wait. It's going to make you wait. It's going to get you hot in your pants and you have to wait till you hit the hotel to fuck your prom date, dude. That's just what's going to happen.
In fact, that's something I loved about it. This is a movie that likes to meditate on its characters. It
Yes.
really likes to ponder how they're feeling. It allows them to sit and not say anything for extended periods of time. The
Yeah.
movie has sequences that are just filled with silence and moments that really feel tense as a result. A lot of
Meanwhile, I'm going to show you every action-packed moment from the fucking movie. I would have cut it a little differently, but I mean, I get it.
films have forgotten to just let their characters think on screen. It's almost
For
like film
sure.
has become radio. The thing in radio is that you don't want
Always.
any dead air. You don't want any
Yeah.
silence because then people are looking at the radio like it's fucking broken.
Right.
And a lot of movies have become that now. Like,
I've done that. I've done that. I will raise my hand and say that there have been times where I've listened to radio programs where the person who was speaking had paused for an abnormal amount of time, and I've literally have changed the station and put it back to make sure, like, I thought the sound went out. And then they would start talking again, and I'd be like, oh, okay, they just paused for a moment, which will be fine, but it's what it is, because there's no background noise at all and everything is so clean, you don't even know that it's still on air. Like, at least if I pause here, there's shit happening in the background that, like, you could tell, like, don't adjust your television sets. The picture is just fine. We're gonna get back to where we were before.
we're not allowed to just have people thinking or coming up with ideas or planning. That's always really fascinating when you have a bunch of actors like these guys on
Right.
screen, watching them figure things out, watching them scheme how to get their way into a situation or how to one up the other person. It's a fascinating movie as a story because the story of Jimmy Hoffa is pretty well known
Oh,
for
Jesus.
a lot of people from a certain
Sorry.
generation.
It just took out
And now it's
somewhere.
kind of
Didn't
become
go pee or
mythic.
poop, but she tried to steal our neighbor's package 3 times.
What? There must be food in
She, when I brought her up, she actually grabbed it.
it.
Yeah.
You trying to steal, you fucking thief? You trying to steal?
That's why I came in here, because I thought that you thought that was funny.
Yeah, I wonder what is in it. Well, if it's
flat.
the neighbors over here, they get fruit and shit sent to them all the time, so that might be what it
No,
is.
it's too thin to be fruit.
Mm.
It has like a little cup logo thing on it, but it is food.
Yeah. That's the brand they get. I'm pretty sure, or at least I think it's fruits. I don't know what's usually in
Maybe
there.
it's like dry fruits, but whatever it is.
Whatever it is, she
like,
wants it.
Like, I know that she likes Japanese pears. Come here, Smart.
She was looking at me like, "What are we doing?"
Come on, up. Ooh! She just tried to play bite.
Yeah, come on. You almost got my nose. It was got my nose.
She's like, I'm not a booger picker, but, I'm a nose licker.
She gets all excited.
She was having me grab her butt.
When she goes pee, you think like, what did she really just do? And she gets super pumped.
But she didn't even do anything.
Maybe she's just happy to be outside.
Oh, she just almost nipped you. On your
Yeah.
nose.
That's the second time. That's the second time. You better be careful. You gonna gum me up to death, huh?
That's her nose. It's still pretty strong. She has cracked her nose.
Mm.
Woo!
Shit
saved your life.
She's a psycho. You're fucking nut.
So the movie automatically has a
What, you want a
mystique to it
treat?
because of this story surrounding
course
these
I
events.
do.
But it's also fascinating in
Wait,
that
what'd you
you're
honey grab?
looking.
Did what you want? You honey grabbed?
I'll try to give her a waffle thing again.
She ate it last night.
Did she?
Yeah. So I know what she does is if she grabs it and don't touches it, like she'll grab it with her mouth and put it on the ground.
Yeah.
That means she just wants it in her bed
Yeah.
because when she's ready for it, she'll eat it. Because she fucking ate the chicken and waffles last night.
Let's see. Whoa! Try to tackle me?
I tried to get her to pick which one she wants. But this morning she picked this one. She stuck her whole face in it. It was like, oh, I want that. She still has a piece in her bed on that. But no waffles.
I'm gonna see which one would she want.
She does both.
We're gonna
Hey,
do a
she
test
does.
for real. We got whatever this is. This is supposed to be real chicken. This
It
one.
is chicken jerky around it.
And then we got this one last night at the ShopRite. It's chicken and waffles. So I'm gonna open up both of these bags. I should let her come up on the chair.
Oh, I was about to tilt it. Come here, come on.
Come on.
Come on, her bed might. Come on, up. Come on. Come on. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Go. She don't want to go. All right, which one do you want? What do you want to have? Hey, you gotta smell the other one too.
She's like, I want one of those bitches. She can't.
No, I know. I just wanted her to smell to see which one is she gonna go after.
All right.
She got.
Here's a chicken strip,
Yeah,
and this is
one of these, which is supposedly wrapped in chicken, so I guess it's the same thing.
well. This is the waffle. Chicken and waffle.
Did she eat a chicken one yet?
She ate a piece of because this is big.
Yeah, and break it.
Yeah.
It looked like it would be hard, but it's soft.
Yeah. I felt her treat.
Oh Jesus! Here, give me. What do you want? You gotta pick one. Gosh, she just wants something.
She's like, oh, the fucking waffle.
I'll leave it up here because I'll give it to her later. Is she eating it?
Yeah, she just fucking.
Whoop that shit.
Yeah,
out.
look, how she only got a piece of her waffle left.
Well, I mean, she
You
don't.
can give her another one because she fell.
I'll give her a piece of the chicken part.
Okay.
Chew what you got first. You're not.
Come here.
There you go. No, sorry. You can leave her. You can leave her.
You gotta.
But you can see that, she likes it.
Oh.
Which is surprising because she doesn't fuck around with a lot of shit. If she don't like it, she won't eat it.
Swear.
That's it. You got them all. I gave them all to you.
Hey, Kevin.
Yeah.
If you find little pieces like this,
Yeah, I know. She don't eat that.
yeah, she.
She eats the chicken around it, and then she'll leave the rest of it.
This is what happens with But this is what she does not eat. The little piece of Go ahead. Hey Kevin, you can always later. You can always do like a cookie thing. You know, make dog biscuits because we got that extra peanut butter that we won't eat. And did you smell the chicken and waffles? It kind of sounds like peanut butter. Hey, Kevin, you know the chicken cutlets that you do when you flay it a little bit too thin?
I didn't do that.
I know. I'm saying, you know, the excess pieces that you normally just toss away,
Yeah.
we can make them into beef jerky.
Oh shit. Really good idea.
We just have to, you know, cook it slow so it dries out in the oven.
I'm gonna take that orange soda. I don't have any other ones in the fridge right now. Because I don't want to open the monster.
You can.
And I'll put some shit in the fridge. Alright, let me give you the bed over here. Because if I don't, you're gonna get stuck under the table. Ugh.
At these actors. And so there's that added benefit to anyone who's a film buff or anyone who appreciates film at all. You're going to look at this movie
Good
and see
for
the talent
Jim.
on screen, and automatically there's going to be some attachment to it. So the movie has that writing for it. And I tried my best to keep that out of my mind and actually just focus on the filmmaking. And because of how great everyone in this movie is, and because of how well directed and edited,
Why are you peeing so much, Kevin?
especially Thelma Schoonmaker, Jesus Christ, what an editor. Because of all of that, these A-list legends disappeared, and I found myself watching these characters. Robert De Niro is the best that he has been in years, as is Al Pacino, and obviously Joe Pesci, who doesn't really work that much anymore. He's basically retired at this point. They all give excellent performances, and it's
Just
so
because
great
they're the
to see actors
fucking-
of this caliber in such a
They're the best. They're the best. Those three dudes specifically are the best. Top of their class forever. They're the fucking Biggie, Pac, and Big Pun of acting. There are other brilliant actors, don't get me wrong. Anthony Hopkins is up there, which that could be a whole
good movie, because some of them have been
Conversation.
in some real crap as of the past few years. And so it's just wonderful to see that when you have the right person behind the screen and everyone's really present and ready to make a great movie, that these guys can still knock it out of the park. The movie will no doubt be compared to Goodfellas because it's also a mob film. Many of the cast members from that film are in this movie, and of course it's the same director, so those comparisons
Yeah,
are
but
apt. And
it's not, you can't compare The Irishman to Goodfellas because it's a different. Goodfellas was a lot more fast paced than The Irishman was. Going into Goodfellas, from the very opening dialogue of the film, you know where the story is going to end up. It's a classic tale, as most gangster films are. Now, while we all know what the fuck happened to Hoffa, or rather, we don't know what happened to him, but we know what happened to him. We don't know where he ended up. So at least that's the only detail that you know going into this shit.
I guess it's fair, but it's different in one very specific way. Goodfellas to me was always about excess. Those guys in that movie, they lived like kings. They were surrounded by money and women and power and all the food they could ever want,
Right.
and nobody could touch them. And the movie was very fast paced in that way. It was like this adrenaline fueled insanity. But this film is different. And I wouldn't use the word slower. It's more of a subtle dissection of its characters.
Exactly.
This movie wants to know what's on the mind of everyone there. And
As
it's
they
not trying to
should.
be too flashy with elaborate cuts and camera work. It's the type of movie that someone would make who is trying to be a little older and a little wiser. And
I'm going to give her this bone. No objection. I know it just different for. Come here. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Good girl. Come on, sit. Sit. Good girl. There you go. I know you were sniffing for it. I'll give it to you. Just because,
gotta say, out of the 5 guys who exploded out of the 70s, Brian De Palma, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola, and Martin Scorsese.
Hold on. I know.
Wiser. And I gotta say, out of the 5 guys who exploded out of the 70s, Brian De Palma,
That's a familiar name. I'm not sure why.
Steven Spielberg, George
I know Spielberg has done a whole bunch of shit.
Lucas, Francis Ford Coppola,
And Lucas as well. And I know Coppola, I think, was the Godfather guy.
and Martin Scorsese, he has retained the most vitality in his filmography. He's rarely had a misstep. There's an energy, a voice, and an originality to his movies that he's never lost. All these years later, he's still making films that are this investing and this exciting to watch, even though so much of it really is just guys kind of hanging out and talking. Sure, there's your sudden bursts of Scorsese bloody violence that you come to expect in some of his films, but a lot of the movie is really quiet intimidation, especially from Joe Pesci, who's fucking masterful in this movie.
Dude,
You get the
he's
sense that
just
if
a
you cross-
bad motherfucker, man. He's just a bad motherfucker. There are very few people who can just sit down and stare at a camera and for a moment you go, oh shit. What'd I do? What did I do? You know who else is really good at doing that? James Gandolfini was good with doing that. He didn't fuck around. I don't even just mean The Sopranos. I mean other shit that he's done as well. Like Fallen, or the other one where he's the warden in the prison. That one. Those guys just bring a certain level of intensity to the fucking camera when they roll.
Trust him in just the wrong way, he'd kill everyone in your family and
Yeah.
wouldn't blink an eye. But he wouldn't just not blink an eye. He'd eat dinner afterwards,
Right.
and then
That's
take
the
a shower and go to bed.
That's the Goodfellas fucking deal, dude. Like, let's go whack a motherfucker and then go eat pasta of all fucking things. Ugh. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've been known to eat pepperoni and sausage or pepperoni and bacon pizza while watching Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but those days are long gone. I don't think I could do that anymore.
He's that cold in this movie. This is a perfect role for Pacino, especially in his first collaboration with Scorsese, because he gets to play this big, larger-than-life figure who yells and likes to be really emphatic. And that's something that Al Pacino is really good at. He can be over the top, but It's the type of over the top that I want.
Yeah.
You know, when I see Nicolas Cage fucking lose his mind in a movie, it excites me. When I see Al Pacino
Look at
scream
that.
and slam
Yeah.
a table and point his finger at everyone in the room,
Motherfucker.
cursing at all of them, that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
That makes me very happy.
Yeah.
And De Niro shows a considerable amount of restraint in the role, to the point where his lines really don't feel scripted. They roll out of his mouth as if he's just walked onto the set and he's improvising with all the actors. It's obviously scripted, but he has such a way of reading his lines that they never feel that way. His presence is just fucking dynamic in every scene. And yet he's never asking for the attention with this role. The de-aging was something I was concerned about as well, because I was afraid it was going to be distracting. But after a few scenes, I didn't even notice it anymore.
Bro,
It was really phenomenal.
I almost, when I watched The Irishman, I actually caught myself thinking, I don't understand what all the hype is about this de-aging thing. They look the same as they always looked. And then I realized, like, dude, they're not young anymore. They don't look like that, you fucking asshole. And I have to look into this and seeing de-aging means they make them look younger. I'm pretty sure they also made them look way older as well. I hope. But, you know, that's ignorance on my part. I actually should write down, and, you know, we'll get back to the questions. I know I should be doing that, but, I mean, this is what we do, man. We get sidetracked sometimes, every time. Irishman. Age, technology. That was important. What else did I want to do? Oh yeah, how actors versus the real people portrayed. Facts versus fiction. And I put her chicken and waffle away. I wanted to smell it because Jen said it actually smells like chicken.
And there's actually a point where they reach a certain age for their characters where I couldn't tell. Like, I was like, is that how they are now in real life, or have they blended it a little bit? Like, it's that seamless. It's really impressive work. The film also has a lot on its mind, especially towards its final moments, which I won't ruin for you if you haven't seen it yet, but there's a lot of discussion that can be had.
A lot of shit in the video. Now, I'm sure somebody would be like, oh, it's only, you know, compilation of the trailer. Similar to deep fake videos you see on YouTube. Deep fake. I have to look at that. I'm not sure what is that. Deep fake. We'll take a look and see when we're done with this one.
Just from the final shot alone, especially when you think about things that happened earlier in the movie relating to a similar moment. And it really makes your brain just go through all these different ideas, because you can look at this final moment that we have in the movie in like a lot of different ways, surprisingly. And there's a lot that can be said from just this one image. It's one of my favorite final shots I've seen in a long time. Anna Paquin is in the film as an older version of De Niro's daughter. We see her a lot more often when she's younger, and she has more screen time there, the character. But Anna Paquin, as an older version of this character, doesn't have a lot of screen time. But she becomes very integral to De Niro's arc.
Oh, and that's I guess that's the big hype on the Twitter. I'll write that down as well. I just spelled her last name like the video game. I'm not sure if that's how she spells it, but I heard that people on Twitter were like, oh, The Irishman was not a great film because some actress only had a couple of lines in the movie. Stop it. You're not going to get your way. And if you did get your way, the movie wouldn't be good. There's a reason. If a motherfucker only has a couple of lines in a film, there's a reason why they only have a couple of goddamn lines in a film. You know, you wanted her to talk a crazy amount of shit that probably wasn't realistic. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? Okay, he didn't. I thought that was him getting back to me. But was it? Dude, yeah, I know. I'm aware. There's a dummy account on Facebook that I have. I was gonna take my secondary profile on Facebook that I originally made for music and turn it into a podcast webpage. Basically. Not even for like a public thing, because I think the people who listen, I think, are supposed to do that. You're not supposed to do it for them. But, you know, so at least the people that are already on the account can see what the fuck it is that I'm doing. But we'll get back to that in a second because I can't change the name. I would like to, but it won't let me. So I might have to just delete that account altogether because it has my full name on it, and I can't have the podcast connected with something that has my full name on it. That's no good. And you gotta keep a little bit of separation between, you know, anybody that really wanted to figure out who the fuck I am would probably have no problem doing that. I'm sure there's enough information out in the world, and I've said enough shit for it to be done. But it's still like I don't want my full name attached to it for a reason. You know, we have a gimmick name on here. Podcast is own separate entity, so you know it's the way it should stay. But I can't fucking figure it out.
And since we didn't have quite enough with her character, I thought that arc didn't have the strength or the impact that it could have had. That's pretty much my only real glaring issue with the movie. I will say this though:
Wait,
this movie
what?
has didn't have the, but she becomes very integral to De Niro's arc.
Okay.
And since we didn't have quite enough with her character, I thought that arc didn't have the strength or the impact that it could have had.
That's not true. In my opinion, we can agree to disagree on this, sir. Not that you give a shit about what I think, but I think the complete opposite of you. I actually think because she said I can't word this sentence right for some reason. Because she had such few lines in the film, I think that it made the shit that she did say that much more powerful. And the fact that she's looking at him throughout the film, it's kind of like the movie is letting you know just because she's not saying anything doesn't mean that she's not seeing everything. But unfortunately, I don't think a lot of people picked up on that. They just saw that, like, oh well, she didn't say a whole bunch of shit, so I guess her character really doesn't matter. When in reality, if you would have changed it and made her say more, I personally think it would have taken away from the power that her character had. So you can open it door. I mean, you can open it from the outside, but you can't pull it from the inside. You could, you're just lazy. You don't want to. Go ahead. But I mean, that's just my personal opinion. And not for nothing, dude. She was a lead in one of the biggest fucking shows ever, arguably. True Blood was Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones knew what the fuck it wanted to be. And she ran that show. I'd actually argue that there were times where I think she had too much to say.
That's pretty much my only real glaring issue with the movie. I will say this, though. This movie has a 20-minute sequence that's maybe the most suspenseful sequence I've seen in a movie all year. There's just this really long and detailed build-up. And it's exactly what I've been begging more directors to do. You know, like, there's the big difference between like the big action scene or the big drama scene and then this really long sequence that just has this build up and payoff with a bunch of scenes interwoven that all just feel like this big moment that could be its own little short film. There's about a 20-25 minute part of this movie that just was white knuckled. I'm going to give The Irishman an A. This movie really made me happy. I felt like I was watching a real film, and I haven't felt that way too much this year, save for Parasite and The Lighthouse. And I really did love Dr. Sleep, and you should see it. It's not making enough money. I loved it. If you can get to a theater that has it, try to see it on the big screen. I really do think it's worth it.
Good luck.
Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.
I don't know what the fuck that means. But while I don't agree with everything that you said, I'm actually going to fucking movie snob, shot snob 6 in the face. Because it didn't get an A+. Whatever. There you go. I fucking said my piece. Not that it matters, but I will like it. That was well done. I honestly expected to disagree with a lot more than that, but when we're on the fucking tube here. Let's see, what is this? Top 10 deep fake videos. I'm sure that will get fucking blocked, but let's do it anyway. Maybe they'll explain what it is.
Is the movie Face Off slowly becoming a reality?
Hey, what's up,
This is
dude?
over. I want you to take this face and burn it.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 deepfake videos. For this list, we're taking a look at the most seamless and strangest videos made possible through the human image synthesis technique known as deepfake. In case you're
Yeah.
unfamiliar with the term,
Yeah.
deepfake software essentially allows users to swap out an image of one person's face with another through artificial intelligence, which is what we're focusing on here. We're
What?
excluding mashup images of animated characters, as well as videos that just used simple editing filters.
His
Oh.
last name will become
What the fuck is that? Oh no. That's horrifying.
Noun and a verb.
Number 10, Jimmy Fallon as Paul Rudd. Jimmy Fallon and Paul Rudd share a fair deal in common. Both are funny men, both are musically inclined, and both have somehow managed to maintain perpetually youthful appearances even as they enter middle age.
Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and watch the video, but yeah, just weird. Totally is. But I was not aware that that was a thing. Now I'm at a crossroads here because I do want to go downstairs quickly. And but at the same time, I don't want to stop it. So what am I gonna do? I know what I'll do. I know exactly what I will do. We'll do a fucking throwback video, which will buy me enough time to get out of here, do what I gotta do, and then come back up and jump right back on schedule of what we were doing. Oh my god, these beats were terrible. I really should take these off the goddamn channel. Holy shit, Soundgarden's almost up to a G. Damn, now do I go old school? I was gonna put on the original characters, fucking 5'3". Shit. I don't know if it will get blocked, but fuck it. If it does, we'll just have to cut it out later. Show all. Now, where are you? I know you're here someplace. Yeah, fuck that. Santana was difficult to do because I'm pretty sure that shit got blocked a couple of times. Where the fuck is it? What the hell? Did I not? There it is. Alright, that gives me 10 minutes to get out of here, go downstairs, come back inside. So, I will play this in the meantime, and I will be right back. Except the difference between last time and this time is I'm actually going to make sure that I hit the fucking play button. Big me up, Scotty. Wait, I already had it up. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Now you can't see it anymore. Fuck. Hold on. Alright. We'll get rid of that one. Pull this one up. Screen share it. This is what you do when you're ridiculous. Favorite hip-hop instrumental of all time. Holy shit, that's a rough question. I'm gonna think about that. I gotta think about that one. We'll have to explore that idea. But while I'm downstairs, it'll give me a moment to think. In the meantime, enjoying this video, and I will be right back. Wait, did I hit the... Fuck. I gotta do it one more time because I want to make sure that I hit the audio button. Share audio, yes. Share, okay.
Oh my gosh.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
And I'm going to mute the microphone while I'm not in here just so that you'll be able to hear everything that is happening. I will be right.
Welcome.
What's up, bitch? You don't know?
What are you selling?
Podcast is out. I'm hard. You don't want none? Punch you right in your fucking face. This is my new character I'm doing now.
Now if you got your head tilted to the side and you're always on the
No,
top of
Nick.
for her ride,
5'3",
or the colors that
bitch.
you rep make others upset, then you might be gang related. Come on, never was.
Alright, fuck that song. Fairies wear boots. Black Sabbath. Let's go unk out all day. Blah! fucking ridiculous.